So fun fact about Brian.
I've laughed hard a long time. Thanks, Brian.
Tonight on Power Bourbon, we are going to review a highly sought after rye, a rye that I passed on, and Chuck surprised us last week.
Why would you do that?
Oh my God, this crap again. A rye that last week Chuck surprised us with that I did not expect him to have purchased, but I'm proud of him for doing, and that is the Blue Run Rye. So Blue Run is a newer company. It's by Jim Rutledge, the former master distiller of Four Roses Bourbon. He is well known for being an incredible master distiller. He's decided to pick up a couple pet projects and then also help out with Blue Run. Blue Run Bourbon is relatively good, also high priced. Check out some videos coming up here in the next couple of months. It might actually make, like one of the top 5 disappointment bourbons of the year. We'll just have to wait and see. But the Blue Run Rye is priced at right about $100. No information, as with all Blue Run products. We don't know who it's distilled from because it's not their product. It's aged in Kentucky. It's bottled in Bardstown. And really, that's all we know about it. So we're going to give this puppy a try and see what we think.
Yeah, no age statement. I mean, we know that it's coming in at 95 proof. It's rye whiskey. We don't know the mash bill. From the taste, I can say it's not a high rye mash bill.
Right. It's not 95.5.
Exactly. Less than 75% rye. Pretty bottle. This beautiful.
Well, I mean,
oxidized
that's worth
copper
$50
butterfly.
I mean, yeah, I will say it's an incredibly sexy bottle. It's got a sweet butterfly in the front.
So on the nose, I'm getting some sweetness, some vanilla and caramel notes that you kind of get more associated with traditional bourbons, more so than a traditional rye. I get a little like background of a smoky char as well on the nose.
But I would actually say, I feel like I might be with Charlie on this one. I think this is where you're at, or the sweetness, I feel like slightly overpowers the char smokiness on the nose. But it's definitely balanced. So it's probably like a 60-40. Very pleasant on the nose. Very pleasant.
Pretty good for a 95 proof, really. I think that's often where lower proofs can act as the nose.
Usually the palate comes through pretty solid on a lower proof.
Okay.
It's one of those two areas.
And then on the palate, nice sweet caramely notes, a little hint of smoke on the back end, but nothing that like really stands out. It's just pleasant.
Yeah, again, like just quite pleasant, right? So it's like you get those sweet notes that come through on the palate, and then the smokiness to me is like a second wave. And then I get even a little bit of a pepper, baking spice finish. It doesn't linger quite as long as in some of that's proof point. The spicy finish doesn't linger long. Not that the finish and the flavors don't linger. It's just that the pepper doesn't linger.
Yeah, I would say on this, there's no surprises. So if you get it on the nose and you smell the nose, you kind of get those same things in the palate, and then they transition to the finish. Maybe the pepper's a little bit of surprise in the finish compared to the rest. But I would say this is a very consistent drink. There's a lot of continuity start to finish. And, I'd say for a slightly lower proof, you don't really get a Kentucky hug, but I feel like I drink this, I do get a slight warm. It's almost more like a side hug, a Kentucky side hug. Is that a thing? Can we patent that? So it's not a full Kentucky hug, but I do feel like at the lower proof, there is a little bit of warmth there if you're looking for that.
I think maybe, Brian, the only surprise here, and I understand what you're saying, it's like once on the nose, then there's no surprises thereafter. I think the only surprise is the lack of tradition or, rye notes. There's not a ton of herbal here. It tends to be a bit more sweet with maybe Yeah, I'm struggling to even get any like even background of a base herbal note. Fair.
But if you're looking for something where it's like, I mean, I want that
If you're looking
rye.
for a
tonight,
high rye taste.
This isn't really giving you that, oh, this is my rye that I'm really
This
wanting.
isn't going to replace your Willet barrel strength rye. This isn't going to replace your the High West double rye.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and rate this. So at least for me, for the nose, I'm going to give it a solid 3. I think it's a wonderful nose. There's a couple hints of smoke in there. Get a little hints of the rye notes with like for me, I get a little bit of hay, not a ton of it. I think it's good, but there's nothing to like push it to that next level.
I'm at a 3 as well. Again, agreed with all of those notes as far as the little bit of smokiness and sweetness. It's I mean, for 95 proof, it's a pleasant nose, but a solid 3.
Yeah, I was leaning a little bit towards 3.5. It's very pleasant. Maybe just what would keep it at a 3 is more just the fact it's subdued. But I'm kind of thinking of the other things we've rated a 3, and I feel like this for me isn't a strong 3.5, but I would actually probably lean more towards 3.5 than a 3.
All right, so for palate, let's go in reverse. Brian, what are you thinking?
3. I'm at a 3 in the palate. It tastes nice. The flavors come through. I feel like, I don't know, we might even be flipped on this compared to you guys, but for a lot of the same reasons, I think it's a 3+, but it's not quite at a 3.5.
Yeah. So actually, I'm going to bump it up to a 3.5 on this. So I like the palate. The sweet notes kind of come through, and the continuation of the little bit of that smoke, a pleasant smoke, really. Sometimes that char can be very much a negative and overpowering. And in this case, it's not. To me, it's lingering, it's lasting. So I'm at a 3.5.
Like on the palate, I get some nice sweet honey notes, maybe honeysuckle. Definitely get some of that hay, rye, traditional notes. I think it's a great palate. I'm also gonna go 3.5. Like it's not your traditional rye notes, but it's good rye notes. So yeah, I'll definitely go there. And then on the finish, I guess we'll go Chuck first, and then me, then Brian.
So I'm gonna stick with 3.5. I think at 95 proof, you have to temper your expectations a little bit. That it's not gonna have this overpowering pepper, ethanol, long-lasting finish. To me, you get a little bit of that pepper as it transitions out of the palate, and then the sweetness kind of lingers to me. So at that proof point, I like, this is quite pleasant to me. So I'm at 3.5.
And then for me, I'm at a 3. Like it's a good finish, but it definitely dies off incredibly quick, which I guess you would expect from a 90 proofer. But I kind of want a little bit more from my rye. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 3.
I guess I got to be the tiebreaker here. It's a solid 3.5. So it's very drinkable. It's enjoyable. The way it finishes, it's not abrupt, but I get something there, as opposed to something that just dies off maybe too quickly. I can see what you're saying there, TJ, but for me, it lingers long enough with that Kentucky side hug to be a 3.5.
So for the final decision here, I'll go first. We'll let Chuck go second, and Ryan, the rye aficionado, we'll let him finish it out. For me, at $100, it's a bar pour. I think if that was a $50 bottle, it would be absolutely a must buy. But at $100, it's just a little too much for me. You can do a lot better for the same amount of money as far as a rye. I think it's a very unique rye, and I like it. The price is what kills it for me, so I'm going to say bar pour.
Yeah, and I'm going to be similar. I like it for what it is, but I think it'd be appropriately priced at $50 to $60 as opposed to $100. So, in that price category, things that I would choose over this would be rare breed rye, Pikesville rye, things that are in that $50 range. That to me brings similar flavor notes, a little higher proof, so generally a little longer lasting finish as well. I'm not disappointed with this bottle though. So the fact that, it is a little overpriced for what I probably would have paid for it. Not disappointed that this is on my shelf, to be truthful. Like, this is a pretty good product. So depending on your budget and your traditional, what you pay for a bottle, this might be right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Obviously, budget reasons, this would be more the bar pour situation or friend pours and sends it to you situation. Here's the thing. Don't be lost in like the, 3.5, it's not a 4, whatever. This is a very enjoyable pour.
Like what you said, Brian, drinkability earlier. It's just incredibly smooth throughout. Like, there's nothing pungent, or you could drink this all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you're looking to branch into rye and you have a little bit of budget, this is a great way to go into kind of a higher end rye. But here's the thing: nobody is going to dislike this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree. If you want a sexy bottle on your shelf.
Is that the first time we've used that phrase in this channel?
Yeah.
It might be.
I mean, to be
Hopefully
fair,
it will last.
To be fair, let's be honest. There is not a sexier bottle than the Blue Run bottle. Like, when I bought the Blue Run bourbon.
Objection.
Nope.
Corn
I don't
breeding
care.
constituents. Every Bardstown with the corn plant etched in the back.
Yeah. Corn does it for you. For everybody else, the corn doesn't do it for them. If you just want a good looking bottle, it's hard to argue. Blue Run doesn't have one of the best looking bottles out there. Unfortunately, every time I try it, it's disappointing based on the price. But it's I'd rather have a Blue Run on my shelf than a Blanton's to get people to buy. So, yeah. But once again, thanks for watching. Please hit the like, comment, subscribe. Let us know, have you tried Blue Run? Have you not? We'll see. And we'll see you next time.
Stay neat.
Power of bourbon.